Actually, I'll make a quick part. Ow. I'll make a quick part two of this. I wanted to expound a little bit better on the coward losing everything. So when our creation, okay, our little Frankenstein, our public service, what we call a government, when they use hate speech to start to divide us, what happens is, instead of people manning up to stand for their neighbor, for the injustice done on, say, let's take for example our native cousins that our forefathers didn't stand up for, and say, hey, listen, they're as much of God's creation as we are. Actually, that's my fellow man over there, okay? That's my fellow man. You know, it's just, what manner of man are you? Okay, so what they've done is they use hate speech. We become cowards, like sellouts, like the media. But we act as cowards when we don't stand and say, "Whoa, hey, hang on a second, pal. You need to stop this wrong." Like, who's standing up and telling the government, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, guilty until proven innocent"? No, that's not the culture of this land. That is not the foundation of this land or of this people. Everyone has the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty here. Period. Doesn't matter. And you better have a verifiable first-hand witness to go into court and point out the accused. All right, as one leg of the table of the evidence, you know, of the merits of the case against our brother or sister, our cousin, our uncle or our aunt, our sister, our brother, our grandmother, our grandfather, mom and dad. Because that's when you see people walking down the street. I don't care where you're from. We are the family of mankind, and when we don't stand for, you know, against our own creation that uses hate speech because of envy and pride against you know, the people here, then we are cowards, and so we should lose everything we have. We should. And let me prove my point. You already are. Okay, we already are. Because we don't stand for our neighbor. Because we forgot to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. As we forgot to look in the mirror and ask ourselves first thing in the morning, what manner of man am I? What manner of woman am I? You know, look deep into your soul in the mirror in the morning and ask yourself that. So as our creation attacks us, we act as a bunch of cowards, and we don't stand up for them. In fact, a lot of folks, you know, identify themselves as a creation of the government through their personhood, through some kind of title or entitlement or society or organ, and then stand, you know, which are all creations of our Creator, or of creations of our creation. Then they can use this hate speech, envy, and pride to attack fellow man, and who's standing up for our fellow man? You know, simple as that. We are losing everything, guys. Unless we can turn ourselves around and start looking at, and I don't care who it is, when you're walking down the street, you're looking at your family, the family of mankind. Now, of course, everybody is unique, but we are all of the family. We're all the same. We're all the family of mankind. Unless you are not of mankind. I don't know. I don't know what's out in the universe. I don't know what kind of strange aliens came from under the ice in the Antarctic and have blended into society. Yeah, I'm half kidding there, but Only half. It's all kinds of mysteries. We don't, you know, we don't know. We don't know much. But what I do know is that when I walk down the street and I see all these unique features in people's faces, you know, these characters, you know, I'm seeing my fellow man, fellow woman. And that's who needs to stay together. And the only way that we can keep honest public service is that if we come together and make honest public service. The only way we can keep Frankenstein from causing harm, loss, and injury to our fellow man is, you know, we keep them within the mandate that we created them for. And there's no way in hell that we created, say, a prime minister, the title of prime minister, a class, a person, to hold any man or woman on this land should be eligible to work their way to prime minister. You know what the Privy Council, you know what the Privy was in Old English times, right? That was the one who wiped the king's ass. He or she were the only ones privy to his nakedness and his stink. So obviously we have dirty butts pulling strings within our Privy Council. A non-elected bureaucrat okay, so he resigned and he got a bunch of money, and then now Trudeau, you know, somebody has written up a contract that was customized just for him for another couple $100,000. He's got that. I mean, which one? Anybody here? Is anybody watching this? Could you use a couple $100,000? Could you use a custom contract created for you by our public service? That only you fit that box through your uniqueness, that only you can fulfill, so that there is no competition or anything else, and that you can just receive it. Oh, wait a minute. China fits that bill too. 40-bit. Look, break that contract. You have to break that contract. Whoever gets in, you got to break that contract. It's illegal. Let them sue. Let them sue. Justin, you know, when anybody sues the so-called Crown, anybody sues Canada, what happens is they take that money out of the Canadian Revenue Fund. They take that money that we've collected off our natural resources, off our land, and they take it. That's how they insure themselves here. Oh yeah, like if you know, every one of these folks that run for public service should have some kind of insurance. So they call themselves self-insured. Well, they're not self-insured. They're taking the public's money from the Canadian Revenue Fund, and then that's how they're insuring a wrongdoer that steps out of their mandate, if you can get into an honest court on this land, and if you can convict. If they don't stick you in a legal court and use legal trickery, you know, technicality to get that evildoer out of trouble. So it comes out of our pocket. Everything here comes from the people. Everything. It belongs to the people, and it comes from the people. So my son was reading to me, okay, so, hey, Dad, did you realize the MP? I believe it was the MP. I got to drive 4.5, if I wanted to go see my MP, I have to drive 4.5 hours, 4 hours to go and see him. I mean, that's how far away. Why is there a constituency? Why is there a public service office 4 hours away from the public that he or she is supposed to serve? So okay, let's say I can't afford a car, I can't afford the fuel because now they're creating fuel shortages on the people here. All right, I'll hop a Greyhound. Oh wait, there is no Greyhound. Oh yeah, no, there's no more Greyhound. Well, I'll hop a train. Well, no, you see, Mulroney got rid of the public train service, the basic public train service in Western Canada in 1988. I gave money over to Amtrak. So here's what's going on. And so what they're doing, and every time they do this kind of thing, that they're using hate speech to divide our nation. And I'm really fucking sick and tired of it. We need to clean house. So my son's telling me, okay, this MP that 4.5 hours away from me, yeah, he gets, what did he say, 189,000 a year and another 300,000 expenses. I don't get any expenses. He works for me. Where did that money come from? Well, of course, it came from the huge amount of tax that is extorted out of every man and woman on this land. But it also comes from our Canadian revenue from our natural resources. So they can collect revenue, okay, they can have Chinese slave labor build, modularly build, and dump Chinese slave labor junk steel on our shores to the tune of 40 billion. And it's going to be more, guys. You know it's going to be more. It never comes in at bid, okay? And break the laws to do this, okay? Because, well, whose laws are they? Whose laws are these? Are they the law of the people on how the government's supposed to operate? Or are they the government's laws that, well, you know, today we'll fulfill the law, but tomorrow, really, I'm not going to pay attention. Now, I'm going to waive that law right now because, you know, it's my law. You know, it belongs to the legal society. I'm part of the legal society, the corporate crown. So, you know, it's my law. I can break it willy-nilly as I wish, but don't you dare break it. You break it, man, we are going to kill you socially. We are going to kill you financially. And the reason we can is because you're a coward, because you never stood up. And justly so. Justly so. We deserve to lose everything because we don't stand up. We don't stand up for our comrade. We don't stand up for our neighbor. We don't stand up for our disabled. We don't stand up for our native cousins. We don't stand up for our Métis cousins. We don't stand up to heritage families. We just don't stand up unless we're of a certain society and class of people that get some kind of funding so that they can go stand up against the people and what is needed for the people in our infrastructure. You know, on the excuse of environment. I'm all for environment, but you can't shut down a nation on your excuse of, well, your lies of CO2, number one. But using certain societies and organs and that, you know, through your hate speech to split the people so that we can not unite. That's what they're doing, guys. They're using hate speech. They've been doing it forever. So that, you know, who's going to stop the LNG contracts? And if China decides to, you know, this communist dictatorship decides to sue, well, whoever signed the contract, let them pay for it. Let them go to court on their own dime. I don't wish to back them up. They broke the law. You were out of your mandate. Sorry, you do not get any. You do not get any crown immunity. You do not get any coverage from the people that you just, that you just committed treason against. The people of this land, of this nation, and of this culture. To hell with you. You fight it on your own. And Scheer, you better start. You need to start manning up. Oh my God. Has anybody ever Googled Casper milk toast? Oh my God. Wow. We're not in prosperous times, Scheer. The freedom of this nation, of this part of the free world, is at stake. And you're acting like my little sister. Now, if I had a little sister, I bet you she'd be a lot stronger and more definitive and more courageous than you act. You're disgusting. Trudeau, you're disgusting. Singh, why aren't you better? Seriously, why aren't you better? Look into the mirror. Look into your eyes. What do you see there? Do you see hatred to your fellow man, or do you see I gotta keep this job because of my $10,000 a month paycheck, my bonuses, my perks, my $300,000 expense account? Is that all you see when you look in the mirror, sir? Well, Elizabeth, this is my expressed opinion. Please forgive me, but I think you're crazy. Sorry. See y'all later.